There are footballers who score goals, and then there are footballers who rewrite what's possible every time they touch the ball. Mohamed Salah belongs to the second category. His story doesn't begin in bright stadium lights or roaring crowds, it begins in a quiet Egyptian village, where dreams are often bigger than opportunities, and talent alone is never enough. Born on June 15, 1992, in Nagreg, a small village in Egypt, Salah's journey was not designed for success. It was built on sacrifice, relentless belief, and a refusal to accept limits. As a child, Salah didn't have the luxury of elite academies or top facilities. Instead, he had dusty pitches, long bus rides, and a dream that refused to fade. Every day, he would travel for hours just to train, sometimes making the trip 5 times a week. It wasn't convenient. It wasn't easy. But it was necessary. Because even at a young age, Salah understood something most people don't. Greatness is not given, it is chased. And he chased it harder than anyone around him. His professional journey began with Al Mokalon in Egypt, where his raw speed and fearless attacking style quickly caught attention. But even then, he wasn't the finished product. He was fast, yes. Dangerous, yes. But inconsistent. Still learning. Still growing. And then came the moment that changed everything, a move to Europe. In 2012, Salah joined Basel in Switzerland, stepping into a world that was faster, more tactical, and far less forgiving. But instead of shrinking, he adapted. Quickly. At Basel, Salah didn't just improve, he exploded. He helped the club win multiple league titles and became known for his fearless runs and ability to punish defenders who underestimated him. European nights became his stage, and soon, bigger clubs began to notice. Among them was Chelsea FC, one of the biggest clubs in the world. In 2014, Salah signed for Chelsea, a move that should have been the beginning of superstardom. But instead, it became one of the darkest chapters of his career. At Chelsea, Salah struggled for game time. He wasn't trusted, wasn't fully understood, and most importantly, wasn't given the platform to grow. Week after week, he sat on the bench, watching his dreams slowly slipping away. For many players, this would have been the end. A promising talent lost in the system. But Salah refused to let that be his story. Instead, he left. Loan moves to ACF Fiorentina and later AS Roma gave him something he desperately needed: freedom. In Italy, Salah rediscovered himself. His confidence returned. His dribbling sharpened. His finishing improved. And suddenly, the player who couldn't get minutes in England was tearing apart defenses in Serie A. At Roma, he became one of the most dangerous attackers in Europe, scoring, assisting, and proving that Chelsea had let go of something special. Then came 2017, the year everything changed. Liverpool FC took a chance on Salah, signing him in a deal that many questioned at the time. But what followed was nothing short of historic. In his very first season, Salah didn't just perform, he dominated. He scored 32 Premier League goals, setting a new record for a 38-game season. And just like that, the world had no choice but to pay attention. But Salah wasn't done. Under the guidance of Jurgen Klopp, Salah became the heartbeat of a Liverpool team that would go on to conquer Europe and England. Alongside Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino, he formed one of the most feared attacking trios in football history. They didn't just win games, they overwhelmed opponents, combining speed, intelligence, and ruthless finishing. The 2019 UEFA Champions League final was redemption. After heartbreak the year before, Liverpool returned stronger, and Salah delivered, scoring in the final and helping secure the club's 6th European title. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. Salah had arrived at the very top. Then came the Premier League title, ending a 30-year wait for Liverpool. Salah played a crucial role, scoring vital goals and leading from the front. His consistency was unmatched. Season after season, he delivered. Goals, assists, moments of magic, it became expected. And that's when you know a player has reached greatness, when brilliance becomes routine. Over the years, Salah didn't just break records. He shattered them. He became Liverpool's top scorer in Premier League history and one of the club's greatest players of all time. By 2026, he had scored over 250 goals for the club, placing him among the legends of Anfield. But numbers alone don't tell his story. Because Salah's impact goes far beyond statistics. He became a symbol for millions across Africa and the Middle East. Salah represented possibility. He showed that you could come from a small village and conquer the biggest stages in the world. He became more than a footballer, he became a global icon, using his platform to promote unity, humility, and generosity. His influence even extended beyond football, with studies suggesting his presence helped reduce Islamophobia in Liverpool, simply by being himself. And yet, despite all the success, Salah's journey was never without challenges. Injuries tested him. Critics doubted him. Managers questioned him. Even in later years, as younger players emerged, there were moments where people wondered if his time at the top was fading. But Salah responded the only way he knew how, by performing. Again and again. Even in the 2024-25 season, he delivered one of the greatest individual campaigns in Premier League history, winning the Golden Boot, Playmaker Award, and Player of the Season all in one year. It was a reminder that greatness doesn't age, it evolves. And then came the moment no Liverpool fan wanted to hear. In 2026, Salah announced that he would leave the club at the end of the season, closing a chapter that defined an era. It wasn't just the end of a player's time, it was the end of a legacy that had transformed Liverpool into a powerhouse once again. Fans didn't just celebrate his goals, they celebrated what he represented. Because Mohamed Salah was never just about football. He was about belief. Belief that failure isn't the end, but the beginning. Belief that hard work can outshine doubt. Belief that no matter where you come from, you can reach the very top if you refuse to stop. On the pitch, Salah is a nightmare for defenders. His pace is explosive. His movement is intelligent. His finishing is clinical. He cuts inside from the right with precision, bending shots into corners that seem unreachable. But what truly sets him apart is his mindset. Calm under pressure. Focused in chaos. Relentless in pursuit. Off the pitch, he is humble, grounded, and deeply connected to his roots. Despite global fame, he remains the same boy from Nagreg, the one who traveled hours just to train, the one who refused to give up, the one who believed. And that's the most powerful part of his story. Because when you watch Mohamed Salah play, you're not just watching a footballer. You're watching a dream that refused to die. Mohamed Salah, the iconic Egyptian striker and captain of Liverpool, boasts an estimated net worth between $90 million and $100 million as of early 2026. At Liverpool, he earns a gross salary of $27.1 million, £20.8 million per year, which breaks down to around $522,000, £400,000 per week. His overall annual earnings often surpass $55 million when commercial partnerships with brands like Adidas, Pepsi, Vodafone, Uber, and Oppo are included. On March 24, 2026, it was officially confirmed that Salah would leave Liverpool as a free agent at the end of the 2025-26 season, concluding a remarkable 9-year stay. Off the pitch, he has been married to Magi Sadek since 2013, and the couple, childhood sweethearts from Nagreg, Egypt, have 3 children, daughters Maka and Kayan, with their youngest born in September 2025. On December 30, 2023, Mohamed Salah was officially named in Egypt's 27-man squad for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, hosted in Ivory Coast, marking another milestone in his storied international career. He made an immediate impact in the tournament opener on January 14, 2024, scoring a dramatic stoppage-time penalty in a thrilling 2-2 draw against Mozambique. With that goal, Salah became the first Egyptian in history to score in 4 different AFCON tournaments, further cementing his legacy as one of Africa's greatest forwards. However, just 4 days later, during a group stage match against Ghana, Salah suffered a hamstring injury that forced him to withdraw from the competition, dealing a major blow to both himself and the national team. Despite this setback, he continued to shine later that year, reaching the remarkable milestone of his 100th international cap on June 10, 2024, scoring in a 1-1 away draw against Guinea-Bissau during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification campaign. His influence on Egypt's qualifying journey only grew, as on October 8, 2025, he scored a brilliant brace in a 3-0 away win over Djibouti, a result that sealed Egypt's qualification for the 2026 World Cup. With that performance, Salah became the all-time leading scorer in African World Cup qualifiers, netting 20 goals and surpassing the previous joint record of 18 held by Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, Moumouni Dagano, and Islam Slimani. Continuing his record-breaking run, on January 10, 2026, Salah scored once again in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations quarter-final against Ivory Coast, becoming the first African player ever to score against 11 different teams in the history of the tournament. Despite his individual brilliance and historic achievements throughout the competition, Egypt ultimately finished fourth in the tournament, leaving Salah and the team just shy of the continental glory they had been chasing. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel for such interesting content. See you in our next video.